another video. Welcome to Cosmos with B. I'm B. I'm a psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. Welcome. I haven't done a video like this in a really long time. I've been doing a lot of energy updates and whatnot, but I wanted to do a type of video, helpful tips and tricks. Yes, I just wanted to do a video for helpful tips and tricks, like some stuff you want to look at before you go booking a medical medium session. And this is very, very helpful, grounded, practical guidance that came through my dream time, and stuff that I feel like everyone can benefit from. It's a very general helping hand from the spiritual realms. And, you know, here in the earthly realm, people are very addicted to suffering and hopelessness, and that things aren't going to get better. It's very, very easy to get trapped in those feelings, especially if you have experienced a lot of hardship, especially if the country that you are, or the township, or the small town mentality, you know, what you're surrounded with, or your living environment, or your living circumstances, or maybe they're not enjoyable. It's very, very hard sometimes, or they're not ideal. They're not where you want to be. It's not what you're envisioning your life for. It's hard to move out of feeling hopeless or feeling like things aren't going to change. And there's a lot of talks on manifestation out there that are very, very surface, and they're not very grounded or practical. And the idea with manifesting a better life circumstances or better life, it all starts with your habits and your routines and your energy hygiene and a lot of stuff like that. Right now here in the earthly realm, there is a lot of disempowerment that is coming up in the collective consciousness, and things like racism and oppression, and we can sort of take on these energies and believe them to be ours, especially if you are flat sharing, or if you are, say you're in university and you're in a dorm room. When we are living in situations in close proximity to other people, we are working with people, and we can very easily pick up other people's disempowerment and other people's hopelessness and then think it's ours, and it is not an accurate representation of where your intuition and your spiritual guidance is trying to guide you. So because at this time in the earthly realm, we're experiencing things very different to how we have in the past. And I've said this before in many videos, there's a lot of us that want bigger, better things, and we feel it, and we don't want what our parents wanted, and we don't want to live life going through in this black and white motion where we're not happy, we're not abundant, and we don't want to suffer and strive. We're over the, you know, the cheap talk and the gossip and the yelling. We don't want to live like that. We want something that feels in alignment to who we are, and we feel good. And this is where the soul energy and your spiritual guidance comes in. Your soul energy is one of a kind. And what is going to feel good and right to you in your life path is not going to feel good and right to the next person. So you are your own best guide. But the spiritual realms want to help us feel good and better, and they want us to succeed. And we all have spiritual guidance, and there's just a lot of energies happening here in the earthly realm. And I'm also going to say, with medical mediumship and also past lives, your past lives can wreak havoc on you in this life. So for me personally, I had a lot of past lives where I struggled a lot in certain situations, and they replayed out again. I was like, why can't I move out of this? I'm sick of experiencing this. And I was dreaming of my past lives and whatnot. I'm like, oh, okay, I've been here before and I've done it before. I still have the emotions and the feelings of that past life in my soul, and my soul's trying to push me out of that limitation of negativity, lack, unjust, unfairness, those types of feelings. And this is where going to see someone like a medical medium or a psychic can really, really help you move out of negativity and disempowerment, because you may just be, you know, you don't know what's happened in your past lives, or you can't remember them, and for good reason. It's actually quite annoying when you bring your past lives. It's hard to focus on this life. But if you feel like you're constantly in these loops of disempowerment, lack of finances, blah, 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 and it's just the same repeated thing, that's when you need to go see a medical medium or a healer. And it's like, why can't I reach for better things? Why am I constantly experiencing the same frequency or energy over and over? Okay, so so I'm going to do some really good, helpful tips and tricks and stuff you want to focus on before going to purchase a medical medium session, just to get the ball rolling for your own energy. And it's just very, very helpful stuff. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you're feeling like I'm so tired of feeling helpless, like I can't help myself, or just I want to feel better about myself, and with our intuition, we have to make a dedicated contribution to our own lives with diet, health, and exercise, so we can fully clear what the spiritual realms and our spirit guidance and our intuition is trying to guide us to, and out of circumstances we're not enjoying. Because if this earth was healthy and we were healthy, we would be enjoying our time here in the earthly realm, but we're topsy-turvy, and it's going to be like this for the remainder of our incarnation. So it just all depends how you would like your incarnation to go and how you would like to feel and what you would like to experience per se, and it's up to you to make those choices, and stay dedicated to what you want your life to feel and look like, and have that vision and work towards it. But yeah, it's just okay. Let's get into the tips and tricks that have come through my dream time and my dreams to help stabilize my own intuition and my own energy. I would consider myself to be a highly sensitive, intuitive individual. This would be great for people who resonate with empath. We are all empaths in our own way. A lot of men that come to me are very highly sensitive and they just don't know it. That's where you get a lot of pot smoking. You're quite energetically sensitive, but you just don't know how to work with that, so you're trying to numb what you're feeling, but it's just not a good idea intuitively and psychically to be bombarding your aura with the consciousness of the pot and the weed and the clouds that can happen, and push you down in frequency with ingesting stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, lots of men come to me, they're very, very sensitive and just don't know it. It's just about working with your own energy. Okay, let's get into it. So, okay, you have to be very, very realistic when you are here in the earthly realm about other people, energies, and frequencies. I was very naive, and I'm also very kind-hearted, and I had a lot of experiences with people where I had to learn discernment. This is a tip and trick, you need to learn discernment with other people's energies, frequencies, and not take on others' perceptions of life. Okay, that person is having a really hard time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, my parents this, and that. Okay, that person at my job is not happy. I'm going to distance myself. I'm going to take a step back from this person's energy. I want to focus on my life and where I want to take my life, and I've got to create some space, some energetic space for my energy and my thoughts. Okay, this is another tip. If you're feeling really, really overwhelmed energetically in your mind and things feel cloudy and negative, a really good way is to just hop on into nature by yourself. If you're a husband, if you're a wife, or if you're a young adult, or whatever it is, and you can't hear things, you feel constantly bombarded by other people's thoughts and you can't hear your own thoughts, especially in living environments. Even if you are in a marriage, it's actually quite healthy to take space from your spouse. Codependency is not healthy in any type of relationship, including marriages. So I was working as a love and relationship intuitive, and this comes through routinely. It is so healthy to take space from your spouse and just go for a walk, or go to your own thing, or focus on a hobby. Get a babysitter and stuff like that if you're needing help, and just take yourself off into nature for a morning walk at 7 a.m. before the kids wake up. Or okay, I start work at 9, but if I get up at 5, I have enough time to go for a walk in nature, get my aura cleared so I can set myself up. The energy of nature is very, very cleansing, and it will cleanse and clear your aura. I found rivers. It depends who you are. If you like beaches, rivers. I found rivers in particular to be really, really amazing. I love nature early in the morning with all the birds. And when you are in living environments and there's a lot of other people's energies, you could just be responding to and picking up other people's disempowerment and whatnot, and it almost tricks you into believing that life is like that because you're picking it up. Everyone does it. So you've got to go out into nature and clear your aura and start that habit. If you're feeling overwhelmed, get into nature and clear your aura. I've also found city energies sometimes to be a little overwhelming. Go find a park, go find a nature to sit in or walk around even for half an hour and clear your aura so you can get a little bit clearer and hearing your intuitive guidance from your spirit team and the cosmos and the guidance that's trying to reach you, okay? That was, number 1 tip is nature. Let me write that down so I can write it in the notes for you. Tips. Nature. Okay, so the next tip is routine and habits. Your routine and habits is really, really important for stabilizing your intuition. So if you are still in your 30s and you are sleeping until 10, or your diet, your routine, your habits, and your diet, your routine, your habits, and your diet are going to stabilize and strengthen your intuition. I wrote a post on Medical Medium at McDonald's and how a really dense, heavy diet is going to make you feel horrible and you're not going to be able to hear that really helpful guidance. So you've got to help yourself. If you're feeling horrible, you've got to help yourself and you've got to stop eating the junk food and you've got to stop the McDonald's and the takeaways and the kebabs and the Coca-Cola. That is going to inhibit your frequency and put you into a denser frequency where it's really hard for you to hear light as a feather intuition that's helpful and wants to guide you in a direction. Things like very heavy amounts of alcohol. If you're codependent on alcohol or stuff like that, you are not going to be wanting to help yourself. You're going to feel horrible. You're codependent on a substance instead of your intuition. You're not going to help yourself. You're going to just sit in this heavy, helpless frequency. I can't help anything. I can't do anything for myself. I need everyone else to do it for me. And nothing's going to change in your life. You have to be the one that wants to make the change in your life. And I have seen through my foray in the earthly realm so far, and just from my dreams and my own spirit guidance, some people are actually just really lazy and they don't want to help themselves. They want other people to do the work for them, and that's why you need boundaries and discernment also with people. Energy leaching happens, energy transference happens, and you've got to be careful with who you're sharing your time and energy with, especially if you're wanting bigger, better things for yourself. Reality, real world. Okay, yes, so your diet, your routine, and your habits. What time are you getting up out of bed? What time are you going to bed? The worst times to go on social media is early in the morning when you wake up and just in an hour before you go to bed, because that's when your intuition is going to be open. You've been sleeping, you're relaxing, and if you want to start receiving guidance, you need to set up some structure for yourself here in the earthly realm. You've got to help yourself. If you are feeling unstructured, chaotic in your mind, you can't seem to get a grip on yourself or your life, you need structure. And I've seen this with a lot of women. If you want to thrive in the divine feminine energy and your creativity, a lot of women just do not want to take or harness their emotions, or they don't want to help themselves, and they're just sort of very reactive and chaotic with their emotions. That's a sign you're not stabilized with them, with your feminine energy, and you're not taking care of your health and well-being. That's Medical Medium. And a lot of us just are not taught as women what healthy feminine emotions look like, or our mothers didn't know, or we're just sort of repeating what our mothers were like. And some people can get overcome with their emotions, and it's not very conducive or helpful in life in general, per se. So yeah, structure. Your bedtime should be the same time. You need to get up at the same time. It's okay to have a lie-in. You need, you have your healthy breakfast. What are you eating for breakfast? Are you eating porridge, oats with peanut butter and some apple? That's my favorite. Love oats. I'm mostly gluten-free, but I find I'm okay with oats. So I do oats, coconut milk, and then I put half a green apple. Green apple is great for your energy. And sometimes I'll put a dollop of peanut butter for some protein and some honey. So that, and then I will have, some routines, some rituals. I will drink a massive flask right in the morning. This also came through my dreams, of ginger tea that I will brew in here overnight. So I will put in a big chunk of ginger, chop it up, crush it, put it in with boiling hot water, and then I will drink this whole thing right when I wake up in the morning. And another one is a banana. Let me get my banana. Always, my prop, always, if your moods are really negative and overwhelming, Spirit Realms told me, eat a banana as soon as you wake up because it stabilizes your moods and gives you a mood booster. So eat as many bananas as you can. This is where diet can really help you find positivity and intuition, and amongst negativity that's out there, you have to help yourself. And if you want to step out of that negativity, you want to get your habits, your routines, and your diet sorted. Exercise, get into nature. Stop scrolling the web early in the morning and late at night because you're winding down, your intuition's going to be more open. And I find when I'm sort of coming out of sleep, that's when I get a lot of intuitive hits myself. But that's only because I'm clean and clear on my diet and my routine. And I've eliminated a lot of negative energies out of my life so I can focus on positivity and creating a life I enjoy. That's right. Habit, routines, and diet. I talk a lot about meat eating on this channel and how that inhibits our frequency. There was a reason the Buddhists were vegetarian. I have a very strong, as I'm working as a healer, I've seen firsthand the frequency of meat and heavy meat eating and what that does to the energy. That's come through my dreams as a medical medium. So I would really encourage to cut back on meat and dairy in general, because then you have to eliminate it. But if you're wanting more clarity in your intuition and more spiritual direction, I would definitely start cutting out something like meat eating. Maybe just have it once a week instead, you don't have to go gung-ho. So yeah, also exercising. Find something that you enjoy. 4 days a week. Okay, let's say you have some children and you find it hard to find time. Well, then get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to your gym, and then come back and help. You have to make the time and the space to look after your own well-being, because no one else is going to do it for you, and then you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more clarity and confidence in your intuition and in your direction. You're going to start receiving intuitive guidance in the direction that you need to go in. So you've got to help yourself. It can be a very, very horrible sitting in circumstances or ways of life, and you want better things for yourself. You just have no idea how to help yourself or where to begin, and you just seem to go round and round in circles. That's where you need to change your habits and your routines and almost invite a higher frequency in with your choices. Okay. There's other things I do too that came through my dreams. Magnesium. I take a magnesium every morning. This is really, really good for sensitive individuals. If you're just sensitive in general, it calms down the nervousness and the anxiety. A lot of the times when we are anxious, it's because we're quite energetically sensitive and we're picking up on a lot of stuff, and we don't feel good. And magnesium is a lifesaver. So every morning I take magnesium. I usually also take some Reishi in the morning. That came through my dreams. I'm going to do some more medical medium blogs, written blogs on medical mediumship and trauma and PTSD and CPTSD and how Reishi and mushrooms have helped me. I have very intense anxiety about demons. And because of my clairvoyance, I'm pretty sure, I don't have many memories from my childhood, but I'm pretty sure if I had this level of clairvoyance, I would have had it as a child. I just can't remember it, and I would have been picking up on a lot of energies and entities and stuff that were very fear-based and negative and abusive. So I almost had this very high anxiety that people were going to come up to me, and it was from some trauma. And Reishi came through my dreams in the form of capsules, and I took Reishi, and I couldn't get this anxiety under control. And I didn't even know. I'd just been there my entire life, and it's one of those things, anxiety and trauma, that you just think is who you are, but it's actually not a normal part of experiencing the earthly realm. And Reishi calmed down my nervous system so well, so that when I was in circumstances, I could hear my intuition correctly, and instead of feeling this fear and this anxiety, and I knew with confidence what I needed to do to get myself and to calm down. It sometimes can feel hard to calm yourself down when there's a lot of negativity, or you're in living circumstances or environments that are not nice, or they're just very horrible or unsupportive. So Reishi I take in the morning. I also take, this is from the Wellington Apothecary, some lion's mane that came through my dream. I'm going to do a report on those two mushrooms. Lion's mane, I found it talks about mental clarity. A lot of the times when we don't have a clear and stable mind, it's because we need structure and routine. And we need a healthy diet. What you eat is going to affect your mind. Your routines and your structure are going to affect the stability of your mind. There's ways of helping yourself, and I found with lion's mane in particular that this helped me with my crown chakra in the third eye. And I know it says here that it helps with mental clarity, but I'm a medical medium, so I'm looking at the energy body and how these things work. And it cleared out almost like this cloud on my crown chakra. So your crown chakra is the energy center sitting above your head that is responsible for receiving higher guidance from the spiritual realms. And a lot of people, if you look out in the earthly realm, there's no crown chakra open there. And fear, anxiety, divisiveness, that's a lower state of consciousness. And the crown chakra, it cleared these clouds off it. And I didn't even know it, but I felt very, very heavy in the crown chakra. And my mind felt very, very heavy. And I feel like you could probably say I was head heavy, mind heavy. And so if you think a lot and you're not very intuitive and flowy, I would definitely recommend lion's mane to open the crown chakra so you can, and it clears the mind. It cleared my mind like no tomorrow. I'm pretty sensitive now. With the more healthier you become, the more sensitive you become to stuff like this and stimulants, and you can feel stuff working away in your energy body. Yeah, so those are the stuff I take every morning. You've got your banana, your ginger tea. I do not take any more green tea or coffee. That is very unstabilizing to me, but I recommend always to clients to swap out your coffee for a green tea in the morning instead. It's less stimulating over time. Yes, and then after your breakfast, and you're doing some stretching for like what's your morning routine when you get into your body. That's very important. And instead of, this also came through the spirit realms, read a book before bed because it's relaxing and it will help you get into that relaxed state so you can receive guidance as you pop off to sleep. And then the morning routine, if you sort that out, diet, breakfast, cut the crap, get some exercise, clear your mind. The mind energies, we can feel like our mind is crazy sometimes. And there's structure, routine, and diet is going to stabilize your mind and your intuition so you can hear things to guide yourself with. Okay, do I have anything else to say? Yeah, I think it's important to know it's very, very simple, easy stuff that's come through my dreams, but it's been very, very helpful when I've been trying to combat these thoughts in my mind, like of helplessness, and I realized actually, okay, it's just the country that I'm in. Like, it could You can't let that energy or those thoughts and feelings convince you that life is going that way, because your spiritual guidance may be trying to help you get positive, but you're not helping yourself down here. Yeah, so do those things first, and especially with medical mediumship and things, and if you know that you've had some trauma or childhood, a really hard, unstable childhood, and you do have structure and routine already, and you are eating healthy and you are exercising and you still feel horrible, that's when you go see a medical medium or a healer, because that there'll be reasons and stuff going on in your aura and your energy body that's just making you feel negative 24/7. So a really good example of that is when people resonate with the idea of the matrix. I've done a video on why the matrix doesn't exist previously, and I'll link it. When people say it's the matrix, I'm trapped in the matrix, really what's happening is there is some oppression. It could even be from past lives. They've had very oppressive past lives. And there's been some oppression, maybe in childhood or teens or high school or bullying, some long-term oppression on the soul. And you've gone and resonated with the idea that something outside of you is oppressing you. It's the matrix. I'm trapped in the matrix. No, something has happened to your spirit and your energy and your life force to make you feel like that 24/7. And that's when people go and resonate with oppression like racism or whatnot, because they're feeling oppressed within themselves on some level, and so they need to attribute it to the government, or they need to attribute it to a race. That's not everyone, but I've just seen in general, when I see people playing out this very oppressive victim-perpetrator consciousness, I am thinking, okay, but what went on in your childhood and in your teens and whatnot? Did your dad support you? Did your mom support you? Were you forced into circumstances and had to endure things like a bad high school or a bad, or what's your parents' bad marriage when you didn't want to be there? There's lots of feelings that can attribute to you feeling oppressed in the spirit and the soul, particularly in our childhood and teens and with how our schooling systems are at the moment. Okay, yes, and what do I need to say anything else here? No, I think that's it. It's very common sense. Healthy diet routine, structure. I said something about bananas, reishi, lion's mane, magnesium, green tea, meat, ginger tea. Get yourself sorted, get yourself structured, and within a few weeks, you're going to start feeling, even the first week, you've got to stick to it, and the exercise and the nature. And these very simple things are going to help you start feeling more positive and in alignment with your spirit, your soul, and your higher guidance. We can get trapped so badly here in the earthly realm that things are going a certain way, when really that is just the collective consciousness working through a lot of negativity. You can step out of that consciousness and that frequency, but you have to want to help yourself. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful. I'm just going to quickly apologize for the quality of this video. And I'm getting there. I'm just, yeah.